Alright, it's morning. Let's go check on the garden. First up, our ginger is looking great and ready to transplant. Also on the patio, we have our pepper seedlings and eggplant seedlings, as well as some Cuban oregano. And other herbs. Our pomegranates are on lockdown. We have them covered with organza bags to save them from the leaf-footed bugs. And this is a first this year. Papaya, super excited. I planted a whole bunch of different varieties from seed to see what would work in our area, and it seems they just like growing close together. So a few different types. Snapdragons are hanging in there, as well as the Canada is loving the heat. Our grapes are doing well this year. I clearly need to get in there and start thinning the bunches for larger fruit. And I'm super excited about our wax jamboos, also called rose apple or Malay apple. This is my first year. And our potatoes and grow bags to see how they're doing. I have some large plants that could use this space, so let's go ahead and harvest them. Alright, let me put a tarp down so I don't make a huge mess, and it's easy to clean up afterwards. So I believe we planted these just a couple of months ago as an experiment to see if this was even possible in the desert area. So let's see what we have. I'm not expecting a huge harvest, but maybe a fun harvest for boiling. Alright, I let these dry out a little bit so it'd be easier to harvest. And it looks promising. I have a few new potatoes. They're not huge, but they look healthy. And the soil looks amazing. Alright, let's pull the rest of these out and see what we have. Alright, this is fun one-handed. Let's see what else we can get out of here. Alright, I'm just going to put this down so I can pull up the whole bag and just dump it all out at once. Oh wow, I'm loving these 20-gallon grow bags. They're perfect. I think I'll put the sweet potatoes in there. They're not related to these new potatoes. And I'll let them dry out and sit in the sun to kind of sterilize them first before putting anything else in there. Neat. It looks like we have a handful of the red potatoes as well as a few of the russets actually set. So that's great. Not a ton, but they were only growing for 2 months, so this will be a fun homegrown dinner project. Overall, I'm really happy. I'm pleased to see that the red new potatoes as well as the yellows and a couple of the russets survived and set new potatoes. I will definitely plant a lot more of these this fall and see how much we can harvest in, say, 6 months instead of just a couple of months. Alright, here are our seedlings with a few melons hanging out, flowers, zinnias, and calendula, as well as the sorghum and a bunch of herbs. And the tomatoes are starting to pile up. Time to do something with them. I think herb roasted is one of my favorite go-to recipes, so let's get that set up. So I love the variety of tomatoes this year, not just the cherry tomatoes, but also the large heirlooms. Also, I decided to pick some of the Cuban oregano as well as a few eggplants were ready to go. So let's rinse off our larger tomatoes. We'll get those sliced in first and then drizzle the cherry tomatoes over the top. It'll make for a nice texture difference. So well, let's see if we can slice this with one hand. I think I have to make a guiding cut first, but I'm dying to see if the stripes are replicated inside as well. Oh, nice deep dark red. All right, let's try this on a better cutting board. Right. Still fairly difficult. The bamboo isn't helping as much, but definitely helps stabilize. Oh, it looks like this one isn't quite as ripe, but it'll still be tasty. And we'll add that to our baking pan. And here's one of the dark red paste tomatoes. And we'll try this one. And it looks good. They also smell good, very good too. So I'm going to go ahead and slice up the rest of our tomatoes and fill out our pan. Here you can see how I went ahead and put the cherries on top. And that's rosemary and oregano and thyme from the garden. And afterwards, I almost forgot to take a video. We had already started eating it. They were super tasty. All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging with me. Check you next week.